In fact, I resonate with this one a whole lot. Mishnah 17, Shimon his son said, all my days I grew up among the sages, and I found nothing better for the body than silence. The essential thing is not the learning, but the action, and verbosity leads to sin.
Wait, what was the last thing you said?
Verbosity. Speaking too much.
Mine says, V'chol hamar b'dvarim mevi chet. That's right. So what is the word in English?
Verbosity.
Verbosity. Okay, I get it, yeah. Okay, go ahead and break it open.
It looks strange because the first sentence and the last sentence say the same thing. The middle one, how do we plug that in? The essential thing is not the learning, but the action.
Yeah, but start off at the beginning. Okay, now this is Shimon his son, which is interesting because it doesn't say rabbi. I mean, he wasn't even a rabbi.
Wow, it doesn't.
He wasn't a rabbi. He was just some guy. It was Shimon ben No.
Yeah, he says, I grew up among the sages. He's actually
he's saying it's
standing apart.
That's what he's saying. He's saying it's just Shimon. Shimon. Just last night we spoke in Abilene, and I said,
right.
I'm just David Katz. I'm just David Katz, everybody. So that's where he's coming from.
Look at his name, Shimon. Don't speak. He said, there's nothing better than silence.
That's what he's saying. There's a code. So the wisdom that we're talking about, this is another great example of what wisdom is. Is that Hashem, it's a pasuk, I think Mishlei, or whatever it is, that Hashem created the world with wisdom. I forget the Hebrew exactly. Hashem, it's a backwards way of saying it. Hashem yazda haaretz b'chachma. B'chachma Hashem yazda haaretz. The diamonds in the earth, that's what the Torah would say Hashem built the world with wisdom. Because God saw that one day there would be a diamond industry. And so God put minerals in the earth, wood in the earth, ore in the earth. It's actually everything that would come out of the earth from man, God loaded it into the earth.
Okay.
So your body, which you know very well, is alive. It's an actual animal that your soul possesses. And your body has secret code and passwords and trap doors. Right? Just like you know that if you you did all kind of stuff to me the other day, that was a wisdom. You pushed buttons on my back and you did things. I had told you I had a headache. You did something, you broke my neck, and then I complained that I had a headache. Everybody else would say, Rabbi Katz, you're complaining, take 2 Tylenol and go away. Right. But Dr. Speck said, no, I can actually fix that. I can go back and do another little pop, and then it'll take away the headache. And it did take away the headache. And then you said, but you're going to be sore tomorrow. No, are you psychic? Because I was sore the next day. That's the wisdom. You see? The body is predictable. 10 times out of 10, you're going to predict the body. It's not an unknown science. So, Shimon, and I'm going to call him Shimon, Shimon's going to say, Dr. Speck, did you know that silence actually is good for the body? And Dr. Speck, see, is a chacham, by definition. He's one of these non-Jews who learns the Torah, which is called a Kohen Gadol, that whole idea, which means you are a minister to the wisdom of the planet, called Ger, this whole culture of people. Now, why are we saying that? Because I know Dr. Speck. Someday, Marge is going to come in the office, something's going to happen to Marge, and this is going to come to you, Marge, you talk a lot? You're supposed to say, I can't stop talking. And you're going to say, Rabbi Katz came exhausted in my office, and I asked him, do you want to lay down on one of the beds? And he said, yes. And then as I was going out, I said, Rabbi Katz, would you like me to turn the lights off? And Rabbi Katz said, yes. Then Rabbi Katz said, Dr. Speck, can I actually sleep in your office because I'm exhausted? And Dr. Speck would have let me stay in the office. And you would realize what Marge needs is called a good night's sleep. Silence for the body, Marge. Like 1 in a million. What you just learned was a wisdom. Dr. Speck loves to accumulate wisdom of the spine and the body. And you got a little tool that you put in your box. One day, this would help your chiropractor. Maybe. If such an animal existed that all they needed for their adjustment was just a little
I
silence.
should experiment, actually.
That's it. That's called wisdom, Dr. Specht. Now is it not such a foreign animal to you?
Mm-hmm.
You get it? And now who in the world is insane enough to use that wisdom?
Right.
Only a ger. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So who is the minister to the wisdom program of creation? The ger. Because they look for this stuff. The goy, inverted commas, would say, I got a degree from Parker, and I know what I'm doing by the book. Dr. Speck brothers would say, we're ger, and we know how to collect random nuggets of wisdom from all four corners of the planet. That one day Marge might come into the office, and this is what she needs, just a quiet night in the office of the spectacles.
It also means this is what makes people sick. Too much
talking.
Too much talking.
Right, so why does Rabbi Katz have a back like a bear?
Why'd you get a cold?
He just talks
Why did you
way
get a cold
too
when you
much.
came?
No, that was that part. Where we at, Dr. Specht? Velo ha-midrash ikr elu ma'isa. Now, if I have to explain the word ikr one more time, I'm going to punch you.
I don't see Icar in here.
Ikar, ha-midrash ikr. Velo ha-midrash. It says, and study ain't the main thing. What do you call that? By the way, for those listening, this is my text this week. That's why we're doing the drawl.
What does Icar mean?
It's a wisdom word. We have two specs in here. This is unprecedented. And I'm like an adopted spec.
I mean.
Again, Icar, this is what I spoke about in Abilene. Moses' Torah is not the original Torah. Shem's Torah is the original Torah.
Okay, yeah.
Shem went around the entire planet, which is just like his own little four corners, and just identified everything. He's like, that's called the that, and this is called the this, and that's. If you do that enough, you'll get everything. Those are called ikarim. So Shem would know, how do you fix the body, make the body good? Silence does the body good. That's called a Shemism.
Because his name is Shem, it's like Adam named everything that means.
Yeah. Shem knew the name of everything. Hey, what do you call a good body? I call that silence. So then Moses said, you know what? We have Shem's Torah, which is all this stuff. Just random wisdom. He's a ger. Total ger. What do you call a good body? I call that silence. What do you call a guy who talks too much? Bad body. Right? It's endless wisdom. Moses said, all right, you know what? If we just take, if we crunch that to a minimal number of infinite to 600,000, all he did, and guess what? If all those ikarim, it's the essential words, you can't make that story go wrong. Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et, hashamayim, va'aretz. It's the story that cannot be told wrong, which is why the New Testament is wrong. They made a horrible story about a bad Hebrew. Yeshu went to Jerusalem on Tuesday. Did you like that part?
Good.
So it's Ikarim. So now that Ikar is a massive word. It's the best word. It's a best word. A good body is from silence. That's an Ikar. When you see, they'll say you have. Wait 1 second. You guys see good spines and bad spines. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Out in the Bria, you see a bad. This is what you see. Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is the Torah is saying you now can get a deeper wisdom when you see the person with a beautiful spine and you say, that's a beautiful man right there. Ah. All you have to say is, that's a chacham. That's a ger. And then you'll see, does he talk a lot or not? You'll know every time. How would you know? He doesn't talk a lot. You'll know 10 times out of 10. And then you'll be able to predict it. You can even go up to a guy in a bank with a beautiful spine and say, hey, I bet you hardly talk. And he wouldn't even answer you. He'd say nothing. Whatever he'd say. He'd be quiet because he's ger. The goy, the inverted comma goy, the non-ger, would have just no idea what you're talking about. You would have said, I'm being an idiot. Obviously his spine isn't good. The Parker method of, I did it on purpose. The Parker method of spines told me, and I just forgot. Of course it's a bad spine. It's the Klein method of the spine. The disc is out of proportion. Ideally, it should make sense. When you see a good spine, you'll see that the person doesn't talk a lot or talks stupid.
Ideally, but I don't know that I necessarily see that in practice. But
you didn't look yet.
I will look for it.
You have to look.
For example, the Steve we met today. Talk, man. A lot of talk.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, it's not the worst spine I've ever seen.
I would say maybe not directly talking, but it seems more like talking vainly.
Yeah.
Like I heard a whole fat time where they say, the kid says, oh, the whole fat time, he never says anything.
Right.
So, Lashon Hara, so maybe he doesn't even talk much.
Did you work today?
Yes, sir.
Did you see a good spine?
Yes, sir.
Would you sense that person was like a Chavetz Chaim type person?
Not a bragger, respectable, quiet.
Did you see a bad spine today?
Yeah.
Chavetz Chaim or no?
No, a bragger.
10 times out of 10, Spect.
But this is not a scientific study would have to be performed.
Doesn't need so. Wisdom is a wisdom.
And what the Hofet Time said was, maybe the Hofetzi doesn't speak much, so he doesn't accidentally say Lashon Hara, and then he comes to learn at the end of the story. So, the guy talks nonstop.
So what you're saying is context.
Does it right.
So what you're saying, context is ikar, the ikar of the ikar, the main thing of the main thing is context.
Okay.
What does silence mean? What does speaking mean? Eventually, it works out. You got to get narrowed down and fine tune the wisdom. So therefore, the good milk does the body good. Velo had midrash ikar. So study is not ikar. That's like saying, hey, that's called vulgar. Study is vulgar. It's like saying, hey, Jason.
Which one is learning him? Midrash?
Midrash, yeah. So we say like this. Listen. You say, hey, Rabbi, tell me, I'm not so learned and I don't get around so much. How do I get to heaven? He says, well, you should do a lot of study. You'd say, no, that's not ikar. It's not a thing. That's a nice thing. It's not a thing. Nowhere in the Torah of Moses does it say, well, you should do a lot of study. The New Testament, that's all it says. Jesus did a lot of studies. He studied non-stop. Day and night, that boy studied when he went to Jerusalem on Tuesday. So then what is the ikar? Maisa.
I don't see Jesus in the study hall. For some reason, they should have taught me.
So what is the ikar? Action, doing. Meaning, what it's saying is, how do you perform ikar? Do you study the ikar? Meaning, am I a chiropractor because I study this? Who's the ikar chiropractor here? Me or you? I studied it. No, I studied it. I'm the ikar chiropractor. No, study doesn't do it. Jared's saying you got to go out. You have to go take case study. I'm saying I'm the idiot. I am the one doing exactly what he said to do. I'm the one telling you how to do it. I'm saying I'm studying, but he's saying David Katz is not ikar. You're saying it's actually go out there, do a study, check it out. You get the context because you did it. You guys actually went out and did it. You will report back to me, Rabbi Katz. We went out and did it. We found out what Pirkei Avos was saying. The quiet versus speaking ratio is, what did you say, bragging and stuff. Bragging is speaking in terms of Pirkei Avos, which you can only know.
Or unnecessary speech.
Whatever it is.
Vain, vulgar.
Vulgar, vain. But I can't know that. All I can read is that you'll say, well, we're in the office and we work it out. I study, but you do it. So you guys perfect the ikar.
What else does midrash mean?
Well, that's a trick question. I know that you asked that trick question, but generally it means study.
What's the other way?
Beit HaMidrash. Study.
Okay, so maybe it's actually saying the study hall, the Beit HaMidrash, isn't the ikar.
Right. Action. Living Torah, not studying Torah. I am not a chiropractor. But I can tell you the wisdom of chiropractic.
Wait. But I'm trying to figure out, why is he even saying this when he started out with silence is the best thing for the body.
You're
then
saying...
he brings up the Beit Midrash and then goes back and says verbosity leads to sin.
Wait, we're not there. We're not there yet.
I know.
Because listen, this is your Mishnah. And you told me before you even knew it was chiropractic, it was your Mishnah. The idea is, I am a rabbi, he says, and I know what does the body good.
He's saying he's not a rabbi.
I, David Katz, am a rabbi.
Okay.
And I know what does the body good. silence. It's a wisdom. If someone says, Rabbi Katz, my body sucks, I will say, then go quiet and go home and sleep
On one foot.
on one foot.
Shut up.
Shut up. And so Dr. Specht and corporate brothers, Parnassa, Ikar,
I'm a
Milam.
chiropractor. On the phone, I can do one thing.
So the chiropractors of the world would say, that's kind of interesting. Number one, the guys in Parker don't know what they're doing in the study hall, or also in Palmer, right? You guys both went to Palmer, right? So in your study, were you better in school, on your tests, or now in the field?
Oh, absolutely in the field.
Absolutely. That's the whole wisdom of it. Like I'm in Texas now, right? And all I've known was Ger in my office in Sefat.
Okay.
So I know Ger way different on the field.
Here's what I see also. Just like what you're saying, but a little bit differently. Let's put myself back in school. All right? He's saying, all my days I grew up amongst the sages. And I found nothing better than the body than silence. So there's talking a lot, the sages. He's at the feet of the sages. They're doing all the talking. And he's not. And he's noticing something. Then he says the essential thing is not the learning. What are they doing? They're learning and doing the chant, how to say it, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying it's not that.
So yeah,
it's silence and doing.
You know what yeshiva's called?
What you learn.
You know what yeshiva's called?
You know
In
why
English?
professors are disrespected at a university?
Yeah.
Because those who can do and those who can't teach.
Right. Did you know what yeshiva means in English?
What?
Sitting. You know, you told me why my back is a brick because I sit.
Yeah.
So what does the body? If you told me sitting will kill you, Rabbi Katz, then why am I alive, Dr. Specht? Because silence will save you.
Well, you don't have that.
According to Jared, I do. It's what kind of silence?
Wait.
So he's saying I sat at the feet of the sages,
Mm-hmm.
and generally that's going to kill you. The only way you can survive by not getting the exercise and the air and fluid, you better learn how to be careful with your words, which Shammai and Naphtali said. Right? So he sees it is supernatural. You should not be able to sit and learn Torah. It'll kill you. Dr. Specht told me. Therefore, the only thing that will save you is the words of Torah themselves. If you go against the words of Torah and speak like, oh, I'm sitting it this way and I know it all, you're going to die. You're speaking ridiculous. Mark your words. But then if you say, I must know it all because I sit and study, I can now know more than the chiropractors themselves.
It's not about knowing. It's
right.
about doing.
But that's the thing. You can know all the wisdom you want and the healthy brick body sitting at the feet of sages. But at the end of the day, you have to get that brick.
We're here live in the Ger home of Dr. Rabbi Jason Specht.
Welcome to my Ger cave.
I'm, as always, Rabbi David Philip Pesach Katz HaKohen Shlita. We're here this week to bring a close to the first chapter of Pirkei Avot, Ethics
Is this the end?
of the Fathers.
Ah, yeah.
Many eons ago, in a galaxy far, far away called Safed, Rabbi Katz used to live with a family of 2 small children. And then it all changed when he went to Waco, Texas, on to Abilene. There he met the Yid, Sam Peak, and his accomplice, Jason Specht, and his accomplice, Jared Specht. We are here to bring closure to the mission, Ethics of the Fathers. Without further ado, I introduce to you Jason Specht.
Thank you for that introduction. You could have gone on and on for my sake. Now I want to read in Amnon. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel said.
We've already mentioned, now he's rabbi and the son of his father. Last week he was neither of those. Keep going, Specht.
Okay. The world exists due to 3 things.
Oh, come on. That's classic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's classic.
Isn't this Feldheim or Art Scroll? Yes.
That is classic. It begins where it ends and ends where it begins.
You mean at the
Yeah, 3 things. So what were the first 3 things? Avoda, Torah, and good deeds.
Actually, your nation are all righteous. They will forever inherit the land.
Not that. The first Mishnah.
The Mishnah.
The world stands on 3 things. Oh man, it was Shimon Tzaddik instead of 2.
Yeah.
Oh, how classic is that?
Torah, divine service, and deeds of kindness.
It was Shimon Tzaddik.
Yeah.
And this is Shimon, and that's why he calls him Shimon.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
He's named after him, huh?
Yeah. That's called taking your muzzle.
The world exists due to 3 things: justice, truth, and peace. As the verse states, execute the judgment of truth, justice, and peace in your gates.
In your gates, Spect?
Yeah.
That's going to be a looked up verse. We're going to actually end this recording in about 2 seconds. Okay? And we're going to do a follow-up. We're going to actually get that verse out.
Got the Bible.
No, we got to get the commentaries out. Because the whole thing is going to be in that verse.
That's Ger code.
That's Ger Code 101 if I ever heard it. So, folks, that's all she wrote for the first chapter. Emet, truth. Din. What's din? Man, this is everything. You say emes is chesed, din is din. I mean, and shalom is tiferet, but I would say din is. Remember last night? I'll tell you what din is. Can Jethro be a convert?
Yes.
But he's probably a ger.
Yes.
And but in halacha, what is he? Din. Oral Torah is a ger.
Okay.
Right. You cannot say he's a convert in din. In truth has. You're not, maybe you can say you're a chiropractor, but you can make an argument that really you're not. You're a healer, really you're a friend in the office, right? You're there making friends. You're making garum. But shut up, Spect. We know what you are. You're a chiropractor, right? There's a din. There's no wiggle room. Eventually you have to get to where there's no wiggle room. I can try to go to Abilene, Texas and say, well, I'm your friend, David Katz. Yeehaw, my Cowboys. What is Jason Speck going to say? Rabbi Katz, din. Torah, Shabbat Peh, Talmud, you are Rabbi David Katz, Ger Code, Ger Tzaddik Tzedek program. You have to have the din with the emes. Emes without din without emes doesn't work. That's the secret of shalom.
Okay, here's another thing. It says din, emet, and shalom, and then when it quotes the verse, it says emet, mishpat, not din, and shalom.
So let's say that's what I'm saying. We don't know what that means. So the question, keep that in mind. The question is going to be, why did he change that word? That's like going from Ger Toshav to Ben Noach Kosher. This is the heart of it all, Specht. This is man and woman. Man is truth. And he says, what's wrong? I'm truth. Why is that? She's din. She's saying, I know it's true. But we have to funnel it down Talmudically.
You have to have shalom between men and women.
That's how you get shalom. You have no shalom. Men don't have shalom. They have a lack of din. Yeah, Jason, you're great. Yeah, Rabbi Katz, you're great too. Hey, Jason, you want to go out to? Yeah, sure. Why not? That's not shalom. That's not shalom at all. We're just emet. And if we don't like each other, we're just din without emet. Jason, I don't like the way you did that. Well, I don't like the way you did it. You did listen to what I said. You listen to what I said. So in the shalom bias, it's not that she doesn't accept your emes. Emes is chokhmah in this regard. Right? It's high. It's good. Yeah, I hear you. So she's being understanding din. She's saying, I hear your emes, Dr. Specht. I know we can go to 3 places to eat dinner and it's all good and you love me and you're pampering me and your wife, right? But din. It's got to be din. You don't have the right to say, why are you coming at din of me? Right? Din is part of the shalom. You said that narrowing it down, that funnel, you have to let the funnel happen. It's not a problem that all options are no longer on the table. Eventually you have to do this or that. But not as a first priority. First you have to get it open in wisdom. Okay, so there we go. Zechariah. I'm going to do this yeshivish. I'm not doing this nice. Zechariah Ches. Pasuk 16. Ready? Hele hagdvarim asher ta'asu dabru emes ish es ve'ehu emes umishpat shalom shiftu misharechem. Go ahead and please translate that.
16?
Yes.
These are the things that you should do. Speak the truth with one another.
Stop. Well, I want to think about that. These are the things that you should do. Speak the truth. Oh, wow. Ish esrei. Keep going.
And in your gates judge with truth,
Umishpat shalom shiftu b'sherechem. Yeah?
justice, and peace.
Mm-hmm. And the big question that we have is, why does din become mishpat? First place I want to go is the Targum Yonason, the Aramaic. 16, Eloin pitgamai dai tivdun melilu kishta. I knew that was going to be the word. Right? You should serve kishta, dvar bechavre. A man with his friends should be kishta, which is truthful. But to be truthful, that's what kishta, koshet means.
Okay.
Kushta urina dishlama dono bekervechum. It's got to be like kushta, truth, and the tune of peace, like a truthful, peaceful melody. Like Shabbos, the way you're describing my Shabbos. Facebook's not truthful, but steiging at the stender is. Dono bekarvechum. That's how you give judgment. Judgment has to come from the stender on Shabbos rather than Facebook. Let me ask you a question, Dr. Specht. Where was I last night? At Facebook or my stender?
Last night.
Yeah. Stender.
Stender.
Where was I at in Abilene? I was on Facebook. See the difference? Now, let's do it. We're going to do advanced learning here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. This is how I've been teaching my Mishlei classes. We're not going to learn Pshat. Not learning Pshat. We're going to look first for the male-female in the pasuk. Whenever you feel that you've sensed male-female, tell me. Okay? I think we know what it is, actually. Ela hadvarim asher tasu dibru emes ish esraehu. So here it is. Ready? Here's male-female. Emes is chesed, male. Mishpat is gevura din, female. Shalom is tiferet. Shiftu b'sharechem. Shiftu is Yesod. That's Yosef, right? The Shofet. And the Melech, the king, Malchus, b'sharechem, the ger in your gates. Now, since we identified the verse from Emes u'mishva shalom, what Jason Specht is Emes ish esreehu? That's obvious. Male, Emes ish, chochma, esreehu is Bina, his wife. So there's your male-female. And Jason Specht will tell you Da'at has to be there, the 11th quasi-sphera, which is the union. Eila hadvarim asher tasu dibru. Tasu dibru. I would say that's the words. That's the tree of life coming out like in a conduit, spoken. Now, here's the pshat. We want to know, what is Eila hadvarim asher tasu? These are the things that you are to do. That's the question the pasuk's asking. Yichaptus.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the male-female stuff. We know that. That only leaves the revelation. What are these things we're supposed to do? Now we're going to look in the Perushim for the answer of these things, because the Perushim already know the male-female. Meaning we don't have to identify that. It's a very easy way to make yichud. Okay? Okay. Eila divru emes. This is the Ibn Ezra. Bestar mishaftu begiloi. You speak silently. Sound familiar?
Yeah, Shimon.
Yeah, buddy. Vishiftu begiloi, but you judge like a balagan. We've been saying that for months on our project. It's all about you realizing your own worth. Sit down, shut up. And when people come into your base then, right, you're the judge, we said. Remember that? That's when you have permission to speak. So basically, Jason, when can you talk? When God asks you to speak. When do you not speak? When God asks you to sit down and listen. It's very simple. Sit down and listen, stand up and say something. Sit down and listen, stand up and say something. If God asks you your opinion, what you think, you stand up and you say it. When you have nothing else to say, sit down, be quiet, and listen. Very simple way of living your life, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Ibn Ezra. Rashi umishpat shalom. What is it? Emes umishpat. Wow, look at this. Why is that above it? Ready for this? These are the things that you are to speak. Emes ishes rehu. Emes umishpat. Then it just says shalom shiftu b'sharechem. So that you see what that is? Look. Emes and mishpat are a thing joined by the vav, gevura and chesed. Shalom is not connected to emes and mishpat. Right? Shalom is called shiftu b'sharechem. Joseph is a judge, but what is he judging? He's giving the peace. Meaning peace is what comes out of male-female. But it's the yesod, not Tiferet, that delivers the peace. Or rather, delivers the Tiferet. So Torah is Tiferet. It's the judge, the yesod, that delivers it. We know that in Kabbalah, Tiferet is connected to yesod. That's the middle column. That, you know what? Here's what's amazing. Why do we do male-female? To get rid of the right and rid of the left and only remain with the central column. We just did it. Bam. Bam. What's the gematria? Now we're going to check it out. 380, 429, 435. Umishpat. What's the gematria umishpat? 435? Hanefesh. 435, 735, 775, 776. What year is it going to be in 2 weeks from now?
776.
Yeah, buddy. That's absolutely awesome.
It's serving on one side, like it said the other place.
Yes. Radak. Ayla. What things? What are these? These what? The Divru Emes. He says these are the things that you are to speak. So he's saying these are called words of truth. So that's how you read the pasuk. These things that you are to do. What? What things? Do what? Words of truth. That's it. It all comes down. By the way, the Vilna Gaon Mishlei says that the essence of the tree of life is speaking. Speaking words of truth. That's all it is. Your job, your meaning of your life, Jason Specht, is to build enough of an infrastructure that you just have true things to say. All right? Don't tell me who won the Bears game. That's not true. You need to have enough life experiences that you can speak the truth for 120 years. What did Moses do? He lived enough of life, 0 to 40, that you have 80 years to speak the truth. That's called the Torah. That's all he did. He must have lived a crazy 40 years. Yeah. So with Abraham, same. With Noah. That's why it's decreed on man 40 years of hell. It's to say, you got 40 years to go find something truthful to talk about. And you say, well, I'm not talking about anything. You're not supposed to talk about anything. When you turn 40, you'll have things to talk about. So if you want to educate your kid, how do you do it? Call me when you're 40. You know, just bust your head till you're 40 years old.
That's how you educate them.
Well, you gotta make sure that they live out to 40 years.
Right.
You gotta guarantee they have experiences for 40 years.
Right.
I know. I'll tell you what. Jewish people do that. They make it hard on you until you're 40. Shelo tidavru echad bakar v'echad b'lev. Shelo tidavru echad. Well, this is bakar, just a cry, and one in the heart. I don't know. It says it's a really bad print. Well, mishpat shalom. This is our question, anyways, right? We want to know about mishpat shalom. Ki'im tishaftu. Only that it should be. You should judge tzedek. Tishpatu tzedek. There's that word. Yeh shalom bein be'iri hadinin kamo she'amru bein azol b'mashul b'nei adam the shakle glime me beis dina zmir v'azil be'urcha v'him. Oh man, it's a long one. I gotta take it slow. So that you should judge tzedek. Now, already you see what that is? Mishpat is the action of judgment. And what are you judging? Tzedek. So what is din? Din is the product of a judgment of tzedek. So what is a ger tzedek? We have realized through judging him that he is judged.
Justified.
Justified. There you go. That if you do that, okay, you're justified, Spect. So that there, why? Why am I judging you in the first place? Why do I need to know that you're a ger tzedek? Who cares? So that there's peace between the cities of judges. I need to know, Specht, if you can leave Sfat, go to B'nai Brak, go to Ania Jones's house, go to Noah Nations, go to California. It's a hechsher.
Yeah.
Jason Specht is okay, ladies and gentlemen. All judges out there. This guy is kosher.
Wouldn't you have to have some paperwork?
You could, but David Katz, based in, says that he's tzedek.
Okay.
If David Katz is kosher, and I'm tzedek, I also have to be tzedek. I have to be what? Kohen tzedek. What's my last name mean? Katz. Kohen tzedek. So if your rabbi, David Katz, is tzedek, because his rabbi says so,
Right.
then, Specht, where are you? Who do you learn with? Where are you
Who's
from?
your rabbi?
Who's your rabbi?
They want to know.
Yeah, who's your rabbi? David Katz. Okay, let him in. He's okay.
Ger tzedek.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Sfat. You got anybody local? Sam Peak. Oh, okay, good. Who's your chevra? Where are you with? Who are you? Who knows you back home? How does Katz know that you're kosher? How do you know that you're not running around with a bad crowd in Abilene? Like my rabbi Sam Peak. I'm in his community. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's Sam Peak's rabbi?
I'm Richmond.
That's it. So we know you, Specht. We know you.
Yeah.
A ger tzedek is someone we know. Because guess what? If you're not in a network, you're not a ger tzedek. Period. Okay, so there we go. Zechariah. I'm going to do this yeshivish. I'm not doing this nice. Zechariah Ches. Pasuk 16. Ready? Eile ha'dvarim asher ta'asu dabru emes ish esre'ehu emes umishpat shalom shiftu misharechem. Go ahead and please translate that.
16.
Yes.
These are the things that you should do. Speak the truth with one another.
Stop. I want to think about that. These are the things that you should do. Speak the truth. Oh, wow. Ish esre'ehu. Keep going.
And in your gates judge with truth.
Umishpat shalom shiftu misharechem. Yeah.
Justice and peace.
Mm-hmm. And the big question that we have is, why does din become mishpat? First place I want to go is the Targum Yonason, the Aramaic. 16, Eloin pitgamai dai tivdun melilu kishta. I knew that was going to be the word. Right? You should serve kishta, dvar bechavre. A man with his friends should be kishta, which is truthful. But to be truthful, that's what kishta, koshet means.
Okay.
Kushta urina dishlama dono bekervechum. But it's got to be like kushta, truth, and the tune of peace, like a truthful, peaceful melody. Like Shabbos, the way you're describing my Shabbos. Facebook's not truthful, but steiging at the stender is. Dono bekarvechum. That's how you give judgment. Judgment has to come from the stender on Shabbos rather than Facebook. Let me ask you a question, Dr. Specht. Where was I last night? At Facebook or my stender?
Last night.
Yeah. Stender.
Extender.
Where was I at in Abilene? I was on Facebook. See the difference?
Now, let's do it. We're going to do advanced learning here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. This is how I've been teaching my Mishlei classes. We're not going to learn Pshat. Not learning Pshat. We're going to look first for the male-female in the pasuk. Whenever you feel that you've sensed male-female, tell me. Okay? I think we know what it is, actually. Ela hadvarim asher tasu dibru emes ish esra'ehu. So here it is. Ready? Here's male-female. Emes is chesed, male. Mishpat is gevura din, female. Shalom is tiferet. Shiftu b'sharechem. Shiftu is Yesod. That's Yosef, right? The Shofet. And the Melech, the king, Malchus b'sharechem, the ger in your gates. Now, since we identified the verse from Emes u'mishvat shalom, what Jason Specht is Emes ish esre'ehu. That's obvious. Male, Emes ish, chochma, esre'ehu is Bina, his wife. So there's your male-female. And Jason Specht will tell you Da'at has to be there, the 11th quasi-sphera, which is the union. Eila hadvarim asher tasu dibru. Tasu dibru. I would say that's the words. That's the tree of life coming out like in a conduit, spoken. Now, here's the pshat. We want to know, what is Eila hadvarim asher tasu? These are the things that you are to do. That's the question the pasuk's asking. Yichaptus.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the male-female stuff. We know that. That only leaves the revelation. What are these things we're supposed to do? Now we're going to look in the Perushim for the answer of these things, because the Perushim already know the male-female. Meaning we don't have to identify that. It's a very easy way to make yichud. Okay? Okay. Eila divru emes. This is the Ibn Ezra. Bestar mishaftu begiloi. You speak silently. Sound familiar?
Yeah, Shimon.
Yeah, buddy. Vishiftu begiloi, but you judge like a balagan. We've been saying that for months on our project. It's all about you realizing your own worth. Sit down, shut up. And when people come into your based in, right, you're the judge, we said. Remember that? That's when you have permission to speak. So basically, Jason, when can you talk? When God asks you to speak. When do you not speak? When God asks you to sit down and listen. It's very simple. Sit down and listen, stand up and say something. Sit down and listen, stand up and say something. If God asks you your opinion, what you think, you stand up and you say it. When you have nothing else to say, sit down, be quiet, and listen. Very simple way of living your life, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's the Ibn Ezra. Rashi umishpat shalom. What is it? Emes umishpat. Wow, look at this. Why is that above it? Ready to this? These are the things that you are to speak. Emes ish esrehu. Emes umishpat. Then it just says shalom shiftu b'sharechem. So that you see what that is? Look. Emes and mishpat are a thing joined by the vav, gevura and chesed. Shalom is not connected to emes and mishpat. Right? Shalom is called shiftu b'sharechem. Joseph is a judge, but what is he judging? He's giving the peace. Meaning peace is what comes out of male-female. But it's the yesod, not Tiferet, that delivers the peace. Or rather, delivers the Tiferet. So Torah is Tiferet. It's the judge, the yesod, that delivers it. We know that in Kabbalah, Tiferet is connected to yesod. That's the middle column. You know what? Here's the amazing. Why do we do male-female? To get rid of the right and rid of the left and only remain with the central column. We just did it. Bam. Bam. What's the gematria? Now we're going to check it out. 380, 429, 435. Umishpat. What's Gematria Umishpat? 435. Hanefesh. 435, 735, 775, 776. What year is it going to be in 2 weeks from now?
776.
Yeah, buddy. That's absolutely awesome.
It's serving on one side, like it said the other place.
Yes. Radak. Ayla. What things? What are these? These what? The Divru Emes. He says these are the things that you are to speak. So he's saying these are called words of truth. So that's how you read the pasuk. These things that you are to do. What? What things? Do what? Words of truth. That's it. It all comes down. By the way, the Vilna Gaon Mishlei says that the essence of the tree of life is speaking. Speaking words of truth. That's all it is. Your job, your meaning of your life, Jason Specht, is to build enough of an infrastructure that you just have true things to say. All right, don't tell me who won the Bears game. That's not true. You need to have enough life experiences that you can speak the truth for 120 years. What did Moses do? He lived enough of life, 0 to 40, that you have 80 years to speak the truth. That's called the Torah. That's all he did. He must have lived a crazy 40 years. Yeah. So with Abraham, same. With Noah, that's why it's decreed on man 40 years of hell. It's to say, you got 40 years to go find something truthful to talk about. And you say, well, I'm not talking about anything. You're not supposed to talk about anything. When you turn 40, you'll have things to talk about. So if you want to educate your kid, how do you do it? Call me when you're 40. You know, just bust your head till you're 40 years old.
That's how you educate them.
Well, you gotta make sure that they live out to 40 years.
Right.
You gotta guarantee they have experiences for 40 years.
Right.
I know. I'll tell you what. Jewish people do that. They make it hard on you until you're 40. Shalom tidavru echad bakar v'echad b'lev. Shalom tidavru echad. Well, this is bakar, just a cry, and one in the heart. I don't know what it says. It's a really bad print. Oh, mishpat shalom. This is our question, anyways, right? We want to know about mishpat shalom. Ki'im tishaftu. Only that it should be. You should judge tzedek. Tishpatu tzedek. There's that word. Yeh shalom bein be'iri hadinin kemosha amru bein azol b'mashul b'nei adam d'shakle glime be'beis dina zmir v'azil b'urcha v'him. Oh man, it's a long one. I gotta take it slow. So that you should judge tzedek. Now, already you see what that is? Mishpat is the action of judgment. And what are you judging? Tzedek. So what is din? Din is the product of a judgment of tzedek. So what is a ger tzedek? We have realized through judging him that he is judged. Justified. There you go. That if you do that, okay, you're justified, Specht. So that there, why? Why am I judging you in the first place? Why do I need to know that you're a ger tzedek? Who cares? So that there's peace between the cities of judges. I need to know, Specht, if you can leave Sfat, go to Bnei Brak, go to Anita Jones's house, go to Noai Nations, go to California. It's a hechsher. Yeah. Jason Specht is okay, ladies and gentlemen. All judges out there. This guy is kosher.
Wouldn't you have to have some paperwork?
You could, but David Katz, based in, says that he's tzedek.
Okay.
If David Katz is kosher, and I'm tzedek, I also have to be tzedek. Okay. I have to be what? Kohen tzedek. What's my last name mean? Katz. Kohen tzedek. So if your rabbi, David Katz, is tzedek, because his rabbi says so,
right,
Then, Specht, where are you? Who do you learn with? Where are you
Who's
from?
your rabbi?
Who's your rabbi?
They want to know.
Yeah, who's your rabbi? David Katz. Okay, let him in. He's okay.
Ger Tzedek.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Sfat. You got anybody local? Sam Peak. Oh, okay, good. Who's your chevra? Where are you with? Who are you? Who knows you back home? How does Katz know that you're kosher? How do you know that you're not running around with a bad crowd in Abilene? Like my rabbi Sam Peak. I'm in his community. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's Sam Peak's rabbi?
I'm Richmond.
That's it. So we know you, Specht. We know you.
Yeah.
A Ger Tzedek is someone we know. Because guess what? If you're not in a network, you're not a Ger Tzedek. Period. I found that out last night. Because that's what a Ger Jew is. It's a network.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's no such thing as a Ger that believes in Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Or is not in a network. It doesn't exist. You're in a network. Guess what? If you don't know your network, you're either not a Ger Tzedek, or you're new to being a Ger Tzedek and you don't realize the network that you're in. That's all. I found out that I'm in a rabbinic network, thanks to you. Rav Hutner. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens post 40. Only after 40 are you mature enough to realize your network. Just like we say to the rabbis in an analogy, mashal, B'nai Adam, people, the shakle, like they're weighed from the Beit Din. Beit Din judges you. How much are you worth? How much is Katz worth to you? What is Katz doing? Right? If I have a serious thing, that's how much you're worth. If I don't have a serious thing, that's how much you're worth. Mm-hmm. Sam Peak's doing all kind of stuff. That's your value of your said deck. Okay? If you're going to show up to some goofy once-a-year conference, that's your affiliation, that's your tzedek. Remember, tzedek is a measure. In the Torah, tzedek tirdof. The Vilna Gaon uses it. What does Evan Shleima mean, the book? Evan Shleima. It's a weight. Tzedek is a weight. Just weight. Tzedek is a weight. How much are you worth? That means ger tzedek is a ger of worth, a ger of value. I care about my studies. I care about my associations. If you're a Noahide, you're not a ger tzedek.
If a tzedek is a justified, or
not just justified,
it's
but also value.
So a qualification.
Qualification. Oh, very good. Qualification.
You're qualified.
Yeah, don't tell me you're qualified to be here if you're not qualified. No harm, no foul.
But you can come over.
You can come over
if you're qualified in Sukkot. You know what it is.
If we're having Shabbos, you might not be qualified.
Right.
You might be bored silly when Specht learns 12 hours. And the Beis Din will praise you. Basically, is your rabbi willing to bat for you? That's how you know. Mm-hmm. What are the chances that I would bat for you? 100%.
Well, and that's what makes the Zedek come from the Talmud Chacham.
Tzaddik Tzedek. If your rabbi is not batting for you, you're not a ger tzedek. Right. Because that means you're not hanging around him for his Torah.
If you're a ger and you don't have a tzaddik tzedek, then you don't have anything.
No. That's what
it means to go to the true rabbi.
That's it. That's the whole point. What would our relationship be if it wasn't Torah?
And he justifies for you.
Right. But would we have a relationship if it wasn't Torah? No.
No.
Not like this.
No. I'd have to be a sports fan or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to go there.
Right. Ve'azil b'orcha. And he'll take him on the path. Who drove me around? Specht. You. And who, if you were to have to come to Sfat, who would drive you around? Me. For the sake of Torah. Veheim haviu. Perish al zeh mashal. Gam kula am hazeh. Al makomo yavod b'shalom. Kula am. Bad writing. It's a filu hamachayev b'din. Even if you're guilty. So he says, this is peace. Back to me and you have peace according to this.
Yes.
Even if you get in trouble by the law, will it affect our relationship?
I hope not.
That's the thing. If your sin, my sin, can weather the integrity of our righteous union, that it doesn't shake the integrity, then we have a true peace. Meaning, look at Shalom Bayis. Do you sin? Yes. Does everybody sin? Yes. If you come and say, look, I cheated on you, that does not keep the integrity.
Right.
Right? The Beis Din of the house doesn't allow for that. Right? But if you sin because you left the cookie jar open, and you're penalized, it does not ruin the integrity of the Beis Din's psak that we have a working relationship. You really broke the law of Ger Tzedek, so to speak. Does that shake the integrity of our relationship? No. But if I caught you saying, I hate all those dirty Jews and I'm going to machine gun them down, that's a problem. Parashti mishpat shalom al hifrasha sha'amar eza mishpat yesh bo shalom havi omer ze betsua. Look up this word in your dictionary. Betsua. Beit tzadik vav ayin. Batsua. That basically there has to be mishpat, that there is in it shalom. There has to be peace in the judgment.
Beit Tzadik what? Which one's
Beit tzadik vav ayin.
What do you mean? It's got to be one or the other.
Okay, tzadik vav ayin.
So it's Tzadik. Well,
Yeah. But I think it might be beit. Batsua.
okay, so Batsu or
No, all right, beit tzadik ayin.
split, open crevice.
Okay, so havi oimer ze batsua. Eza mishpat sheyesh bo shalom havi. Here's mishpat, right? Jason, I'm judging you. You're a kosher Ger Tzedek. What's the split? I'm saying you're not something else.
You're splitting hairs on the first aesthetic part? Or you're splitting...
Mishpat is a judgment. You're a this and you're not a that.
Uh-huh.
The din is you're not a Jew.
Right.
That's what they would think.
You're a Ger Tzedek non-Jew.
Well, they would
Right.
say, "Oh, Rabbi Katz are not Jewish." It's din, but mishpat has shalom in it. No, Jason, you're a Ger Tzedek non-Jew. Oh,
Right.
it goes back up to Rachamim. They think it's a Ganai. All those people in the world think it's a Ganai.
Uh-huh.
It's not a Ganai. It's a schus.
Yeah. Awesome. It is.
Peak is just a yid in Gaulis. That's the Ganai. That's an insult. Is it? To me, it's a schus. No, Sam, you're not a Jew in the land. You're just a Jew in Gaulis. Find the shalom in it. It's a huge schus. It's a huge schus. What's the difference? You're a yid and not a Jew. To be a yid is a tremendous shalom. The Jew has the no shalom. He has, he's like a proper Jew in a garment, but you do shalom. I laid the law, the din on Sam. That's where the shalom is. What is shalom a metaphor for? Shechina in exile. That's why Malchus is din. Right? If you don't want to be in exile with the Shechina, then you don't get the shalom, but at least you're not in exile. Or you can say, at least I'm in exile with the Shechina. I could be teaching in Brooklyn, many synagogues and yeshivas, not with Goyim in Abilene, Texas. I mean, pick your poison. What do you want? You want a big name? That means nothing?
The Shekhinah's in exile only because of making Gerim, right?
Yeah, it is. Here, hold on.
I mean, if it was just to be Jewish, how would that be?
That's the thing. But see, din looks harsh. Who wants din? Why do I want to get married to be with a woman with din? So what's the secret? It's a shalom bias. She's basically saying, stop trying to be commercial and pick the lesser and go with the Shekhinah in exile, which isn't the lesser. It's actually, that's where the shalom is. You're not going to be happy, Jason, like being an upright, nervous doctor. But if you be you with the Shekhinah in exile, then you'll find the peace. Work half a day, and that's a different, it's proper living. It's Eitz HaChaim, Eitz HaDastovara. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So din is the beginning cause and end cause. I thought I was saying, don't tell me, Rabbi Katz, I'm not a Jew. In the end, no, Jason, you're not. Din. What did you really get? You got the mishpat with shalom. It was rachamim. Mishpat shalom is the rachamim in the din. But people think that if you just take din, it's like, oh, almost. I'll try harder. No, be you. Well, mishpat patuach. It's open since it's samuch. Bisharechem, in your gates. Ready? Kisha moshav. Oh. Since there dwells the elders, the zakenim, tzaddik, wisdom,
Right.
who hangs out in the gates?
The Gerim.
The Gerim. So guess what, Jason Speck? Which ger is it in Shmona Esrei with the zakenim?
The Ger
Tzedek non-Jew. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the gate.
Right.
With the elder. Kamo shekasuv betorah hashara el zakenim. In the Torah, it says the gate to the elders. The tzaddikim with chachma. That is absolutely awesome. All right, now. Ela hadvarim rak asu ela dvarim
I used to think of these gates as, from the Torah, I used to picture them as gates to the city, but now I'm thinking of them as temple gates.
Yeah, basically.
Temple gates? From
basement. Where do you put them? As Jason Specht.
At the gate?
Base medrash.
Okay.
Base hamikdash. A proper bayit, a proper gate. A proper gate is a house of study and Torah, those kind of things.
Wherever the Gerim would be finding the Jews to learn.
Yeah. That's where you're guaranteed to find.
It's a gate to learning.
So what do you have to say about Abilene? It is definitely a gate to something. Otherwise, Sam wouldn't be here sitting in that gate.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is just a servant of the Lord. He is here sitting in a gate. Mm-hmm. What is my house? It's the gate of the cave of Shem and Abraham.
Where did Abraham sit? Like basically
in the gate.
His house, the gate.
That's it. So if you want to make Gerim, if you want to find Gerim, make Gerim, be a Gerim, go to the gate. I moved on purpose to the cave of Shem and Aver. That is the gate. That's the gate of gates.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you speak at the gates? You speak emes, which is kashut, kishta, right? Truthfulness. Don't come teaching politics, okay? Talk about something true. That's not a word for wisdom. Words of wisdom. Ger talk.
Let the Ger be real and let him be himself.
Right. Mishpat shalom. What does it mean, mishpat shalom? Is that a noun or a verb? Verb. That's what no one would hear. It's a verb. Oh. Let the Ger talk and judge him with peace. Everyone else would say it's a noun. No. It means he's going to say, Rabbi, what do I do? Am I a Jew or a Goy? So give him the din. You're not Jewish. You're not a lost tribesman. But guess what that means? Mishpat Shalom. It's a better answer. Shechina Gullus. Where was the original gate? Shem and Abraham. What was Abraham saying? Am I a ger or what am I?
Yeah.
What did Shem do? Shalom. Yerushalayim. Yira Shalom.
Yeah.
Shem gave him the judgment from peace. That's awesome.
It is. Wow.
Shiftu b'sharechem. Mishpat emet. O mishpat shalom. Meaning a true judge, a true mishpat. A true mishpat shalom.
Mishpat shalom is what is true.
Yeah. Well, shalom then would be the bring it down. It's the bringing down. V'zehu pasra shebatoch hashlim bein bali din avo zehu. And he says this is the difference. Shemitavech hashlim. Right? You gotta get people. This is how do you get people to pay? You have people that have money disputes, right? That's a hard one. How do you settle money disputes? So between Baalei Din. This is what Baalei Din have to do. Meaning, it's got to be b'shalom. You can't just be like, you lose. You know what I mean? It's got to feel good about it. You can't just rip the guy off. But, lo ta'uto hamishpat. But you can't make a bad mishpat for the sake of that. She'ein zeh lo emes v'lo shalom. You're not doing anybody favors if you compromise. It does not mean compromise. It has to be true shalom, right?
And
if you can make it,
will make everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right. Okay. What does it mean in the gates? Shem makom mishpat, a place of mishpat, where people are basically judging and coming to a peaceful resolution. That's the seventh Noahide law, the make courts of justice. Meaning Noahides, God-fearers, They suffer if they can't do this.
Hmm.
And we see it. The secret of the Noahide is he thinks about this stuff all day long. Torah and God. You know?
Mm-hmm.
He's not happy unless he's doing this. He's a secret litfak.
Mm. The root even in Shvet, judge, is to create harmony. That's the shalom. It's built into mishpat. Harmony.
What is that harmony? Create order and harmony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it's the ferrets.
Because it's not a real judgment.
Right, it's not judgment.
Unless everybody sees the truth and
Yeah.
they're both happy with it.
Right. So when Shimon said din, it is din. But you have to know what type of din it is. Because there's no wiggle room in din. In this type of mishpat, there's no wiggle room. You're locked in. You have your peace. Meaning, Jason, accept yourself type of thing, right? You can't say, well, I shoulda, coulda. No, you're you. So now, Sharech and Shimon go, Kamosh Ksav, El Ziknei Ha'ir Ha'sara, to the elders of the city. You got to go where the real rabbis are. That's really what it comes down to. We're going to repeat. These things that you do speak truth to a man with his fellow. Truth and mishpat shalom. That's how he should judge in the gates with the elder rabbis and all that. So did we get shot in the verse? Yeah, we did. I want you to now, I'm going to go back to my chair, and you're going to read Pirkei Avos out loud in English or in Hebrew, whatever you want, the first chapter, and all of our listeners are going to think Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, the essence of Pirkei Avos. We know that the first chapter in any work is the essence of the whole book. I'm going to make the statement that this is the whole of Pirkei Avos, and we're going to hear Jason now read from the introduction about the Olam Haba thing, which, by the way, on Shabbos we learn the Ramchal, okay? Let's see if it works. Let's see if it's about the Ger Tzedek being judged, accepting his judgment, working with a rabbi, speaking truth to his Yid Jewish friend, that mashal. Let's see if it works for the entire first chapter, and please do not skip the introduction. Go ahead.
So the prologue until when?
To the very end of the first chapter.
The whole every
And
rabbi.
the outro thing at the end.
Prologue. All Israel have a portion in the world to come, as the verse states, your nation are all righteous, they will forever inherit the land. They are the branch of my planting, the work of my hands in which to take pride.
That fits Ger by definition.
Even branch reminds me of grafting.
That's the grafting. That's what that is. Keep going.
Mr. 1?
Yeah. Slowly.
Moses received the Torah from Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua. Joshua transmitted it to the elders. The elders transmitted it to the prophets and the
Didn't
prophets.
Jethro tell Moshe to judge the people?
Yeah.
That is. Get them in the Torah. How was Yeshiva created? How has the Torah thrived? Moses set it up. They will forever love the taste of Torah. Moses created. How did Moses save the world, the Torah? He created the God-fearer.
And who's next after elders here? Prophets. So if you have elders in the gates,
And there has to be Gerim coming with the Shemina Torah.
then prophecy.
Yeah. Right? Moses set the whole thing up with that.
And the prophets.
Therefore, what we just found the Yeshiva Shem and Aver. Thank you.
Yeah. Prophecy. That's how prophecy worked then.
That's it.
In Yeshiva Shem and Eber.
Yeah.
The school of prophecy.
So we found the school of prophecy.
They had Moses come finally as a ger. Boom.
So this is the school of prophecy.
Wow.
You asked for it last week. You got it, Spect.
No kidding. Wow. And the prophets transmitted it to the men of the Great Assembly. The men of the Great Assembly said 3 things. Be patient in judgment.
Don't care that we judge you. Relax.
Set up many students. And place a fence around the Torah. That's also the theory we had. That fence is for the Gerim not to break.
Are you a Ger Tzedek? I have to call you Ger Tzedek.
Well,
It gives context to our relationship.
That's my hechsher.
It's your hechsher. It's
That's
the
the fence.
hechsher.
The hechsher
You have
is
to
the
have,
fence.
all it is a hechsher.
Right.
You are, Jason Speck is a Ger Toshav who does 8 mitzvahs. Don't say it's your name tag, it's your hechsher.
Right.
So you say David Katz says, that's where I'm holding.
O-U-D.
O-U-D.
Shimon HaTzadik was one of the last of the Great Assembly. He used to say, upon 3 things does the world stand.
Keep talking here, Drew. Speak loud.
Upon Torah, upon divine service and upon deeds of kindness, which is, it's another, everybody's saying three things. Mishnah 3. Antignos of Socho received the tradition from Shimon Hatzadik. He used to say, do not be like servants who serve the master in order to receive reward.
It's not about being your tzedek, respect. It's not about being your tzedek.
Not about my title. Rather be like servants who serve the master, but not in order to receive reward.
It's not about heaven. It's about serving for the sake of heaven.
And
That's Care 101.
And let the fear of heaven be upon you.
God-fearer. Not what Blumenstiel says about serving for the sake of getting to heaven. Yeshu, Christianity life.
Yosei ben Yozer, Zoraida, and Yosei ben Yochanan of Yerushalayim received the tradition from them. Yosei ben Yozer of Zoraida said, make your house a meeting house for sages. I have done that. Roll in the dust of their feet and thirstily drink in their words.
Thank you.
That was us. Mishnah 5, Yossi ben Yochanan of Yerushalayim said, open your home wide and let the poor be members of your household.
Well, you did that too.
But that's also like, let the Gerim come too.
Yeah.
And do not engage in much small talk with your wife.
That's it. It has to be shalom.
Right.
Mishpat shalom.
Mishpat
It
shalom.
says, divrei emes.
Plus,
Divrei emes.
what if you brought in all of these poor into your household? Of course your wife's going to want to have a talk with you.
Yeah.
Small talk.
Well, like we said in the car, but the natural powers of attraction have to be based on emes, not sheker.
And our sages say, certainly not with another man's wife.
That also, the roles don't ever change. Emes, it has to remain emes all the time. That is beyond reproach. That is how you avoid the poorest din.
Mm-hmm.
And keep shalom bias. If you don't, you're taking away that guy's shalom bias.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good thing.
And this is wild, but I've had this experience actually, or thought about it. Let's say the poor are the Gerim in the Jewish household.
Yeah.
If you're talking to the rabbi's daughter and she's not married to anyone, she's still somebody else's wife. Jews and Gerim need to always keep a distinction between one another.
So how did a Ger used to marry a Jew? Divrei emes. If it's emes, it's emes. If it's not emes, it's not emes. Today, it's not emes.
Right. So
there's no emes to it.
So you don't talk to.
I'm not marrying a Ger. There's no emes to it. 1,000, 2,000 years ago, there was emes to it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Is there a Ger Toshav today? No. Why? There's no emes to it. But is there a Ger in the world today? Yes, because there's emes to it.
Right. Amen. From here, the sages said, whoever engages in much small talk with his wife causes himself evil, neglects learning Torah, and in the end...
Because he's not interested in emes.
Right. Because what is small
and all
talk?
she's interested in is emes.
Okay, so he inherits Gehinnom from her.
Right. That's the secret.
That's the Gehinnom.
That's the secret of women. They're Bali emes.
Yeah.
Men thinks he's emes. That's like a stone guy thinking it's creative. It's stupid.
Mishnah 6. Yehoshua ben Parachia of Nitai of Arbel received from them. Yehoshua ben Parachia said, make yourself a teacher, acquire for yourself a colleague.
Emes, Ger, what?
And judge everyone favorably.
Wait, what was the second one?
Acquire for yourself a colleague.
Chavrusa and yeshiva.
And
But outside the regular yeshiva and the real yeshiva Sheva Aver. This is the universal Sheva Aver laws of prophetic school of wisdom.
Yes. And judge everyone favorably.
That's it. Because you don't know who's the G and who's the R.
Mm-hmm. Mishnah 7. Natai of Arbel said, distance yourself from an evil neighbor.
That would be Steve.
Right. Do not befriend a wicked person, and do not despair of retribution. And that's why I have no neighbors.
That is called not emes. Steve is not in the end of emes. Stay away from the ish lo emet.
Mishnah 8. Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shittach received the tradition from them. Yehuda ben Tabai said, do not make yourself like a legal advocate. When litigants stand before you, view them as wicked. But when they leave...
You are not Jewish. That is a Russia.
Mm-hmm. But when they leave having accepted the verdict, view them as worthy.
You are a Ger Tzedek, not Jew.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Mishnah 9. Shimon ben Shetak said...
Because that's what you're saying. If you're saying, oh, am I Jewish, Rabbi Katz? No. By your standards, that means you're no good.
Mm-hmm.
I just play by your rules. You
Right.
tell me you're no good. We're going to argue with you? Okay, you're no good. When you leave, what do you find out? The truth. Mishpat Shalom.
Shimon ben Shetak said, question witnesses at length, and take care with your words, lest they infer from them how to lie. This could be the judge in the gate questioning the ger
That's it.
at length.
And every Jew's a ger.
Because you're going to give them a hechsher. You have to really
Sam
respect them.
Pete said, David Katz, you're a ger. You want my hechsher? Then show me some words of truth, please.
Right.
Everyone's a ger. Everyone. Every gate you enter looking for a wiser man than you, you're a ger, and he is a tzaddik rabbi emes. It's the way of the world.
Mishnah 10, Shmaya and Avitalian
Gerim. This will be interesting. What does the ger themselves have to say with this?
received the tradition from them. Shmaya said, love work, hate rule, and do not become known to the government.
Because why? The government hates gerim.
They do. They totally
And he
do.
knows that.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know who your enemy is? Every bureaucrat's out to kill you.
Exactly.
Don't find
Well,
G.
that's the goy. The bureaucrat,
Don't-
the government is goy.
Don't find
That's
G.
why goy is also means nation. It is always the government.
It's right. That's it. Get away from G. G is not your friend. It's
Right.
R.
Yeah. Well, on one foot, Shmaya the Ger. Stay away from the government.
That's it.
Don't let them ever see you
That's
or
it.
know you.
That's it.
And you can be a Ger.
That is awesome.
Mishnah 11. Naphtalian said, sages, take heed of your words, lest you are forced to go into exile. To a place of evil waters.
Oh, Sam P. Gamelin.
And the students who follow after you will drink and die. And in the end, the reputation of heaven will be desecrated.
David Katz and Abilene.
But then you rescued it, sanctified it. Mr. 12, Hillel and Shammai received the tradition from them. Hillel said, be of the students of Aaron, love peace and pursue peace.
That means Mishpat Shalom.
Love people and bring them close to the Torah. That's David Katz this week. Yeah, that's beautiful. Hillel and Shammai learn from these Gerim, love people and bring them close to the Torah.
That's it. People out there love emes. Bring them to the Torah and give them the emes.
Right.
So they can what? Talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can be properly judged. We'll stop calling you goyim.
Just make it Emet.
Yeah, that's how you stop. That's how you stop the goyim. You give it. You know what? How do you make ger from goy? Give them Torah to talk about. Give them. Leave them with Torah to talk about.
Mishnah 13. He used to say, this is still Hillel, a person who seeks renown will lose his reputation. A person who does not continuously add will cease. A person who does not learn deserves death.
That's the ger trying to be something he's not. Right? Seek renown. I am a ger tzaddik. It doesn't even exist. You will lose your reputation. It doesn't mean anything. It's not real.
Okay.
You're not going up, you're going down.
And a person who makes use of the crown will pass away.
If you say, I'm the ger tzaddik, goodbye.
Right, you have to be sincere.
In
Sincere
Domenico.
ger. Mishnah 14. He used to say, again Hillel, if I am not for myself, who will be for me?
You have to have an advocate, Jason Specht.
Yeah, especially a ger.
Yeah.
You have to take yourself to the gates to learn,
Right.
at least.
Now we know what Hillel means. Now it makes sense.
And if I am for myself, what am I?
You call yourself a ger tzedek. Mazel tov to you.
Right. And if not now, then when?
Oh, so you don't want to go to the gate. You want to just sit at home telling everybody that you're a ger tzedek. Why don't you go find out?
Shammai said, make your Torah learning permanent.
That's called a ger in the gate. Thank you.
Say little and do much.
That's a ger in the gate, sitting and being quiet, and he's not. He's doing what he has to do.
And greet every person with a pleasant expression.
Because that's just what Garen teach the Jews.
Yeah, right.
That's Jordan at the bank.
Right. Right.
You're going, that's called look like a goy, but really be a ger.
Right.
And
See,
why? To fit in the government so that they don't know.
Right. It's the bank that's the goy. Rabban Gamliel used to say, make yourself a teacher. Remove yourself from doubt, and do not often tithe by estimation.
Don't be a dumb ger, please. Because tzedek is the proper tithe. Money is the root of all evils. You need to be a solid ger.
And you make yourself a teacher, that's how you get tzedek. That's your hechsher. Remove yourself from doubt.
That's your whole thing.
Don't put a bad reputation on your rabbi.
Right. Don't be a bigwig either. Don't give your rabbi a lot of money. Why? I mean, a lot of.
Well, then you're
You're buying him.
Yeah.
You just ruin his reputation. They're gonna say, "Oh, Rabbi Katz and Jason, because Jason gives them thousands and thousands of dollars."
Right.
That doesn't tell me anything.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, here's my hechsher.
Yeah, I bought Rabbi Katz.
That happens.
I know it does.
All the time. That's everything.
That's why Garen don't give any money. Because they know it just can't work. Everyone's got to give a little bit just so I pay my bills.
And that's why sometimes other people give a load.
Why?
Like 3.
Oh, because they know.
Because they're Christians.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They bought you.
He thinks.
I mean, that's what they think.
Yeah, right. Garen would never do that. Ever. Ever.
Yeah. Shimon, his son said.
Yeah. Yeah. We did it. Skip that one.
All my days I grew up among the sages.
Right.
You want to skip it?
I'll say it.
And I found nothing better for the body than silence. The essential thing is not the learning but the action, and verbosity leads to sin.
Now read chapter 2, since we're having fun and games. Let's see if we can see if chapter 2...
We're not done with 18 yet.
Which one?
The last one.
All right, well, yeah, you go through it, and then do chapter 2.
Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel outside the world exists due to 3 things. Justice, truth, and peace. As the verse states, execute the judgment of truth, justice, and peace in your gates.
All right, chapter 2.
Chapter 2 what?
Chapter 2, Pirkei. Just fast. Let's see if we can apply this method real quick.
What, all of them?
Yeah, just chapter 2.
Mr. 1?
Yeah. Not too fast, I want to hear it, but fast.
These get longer.
Yeah, keep going.
Rabbi said, which is a straight path that a person should choose for himself? Whatever is honorable for him and gains him people's respect. Be as careful in performing a slight mitzvah as a weighty mitzvah.
All right, close the book. We got it. We hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rabbi Jason Specht has solved the Pirkei Avos code. I will see you in Svat. Ask Jason Specht for any counseling or advice in Pirkei Avos. In the end, our premise was correct, that Pirkei Avos is in fact shayach for the non-Jew, and what we've learned is everybody's a ger, everyone's a Jew, everyone's got both souls. We're talking metaphorically here, but in the real world, we're all people, and the Jew-ger relationship seems to be the path to true righteousness. For Jews to be Jews, ger to be ger, and when we forget who we are, the Jewish-ger relationship is the Tzaddik Tzedek program, and that is Pirkei Avos on one foot. Jason, we'll see you with the new. We're not going to finish the book because we did it, I believe. So we will start a new book, new project for listeners out there. Stay tuned for after the holidays. God bless. Goodbye.